Well, hello and welcome to the Late Night Show with Sammy Approved. Obviously, I am Sammy and I'm so thrilled to be celebrating Juneteenth with my peoples. Oh my gosh, this is exciting to bring back the Late Night Show. It's different. It's not quite the way we normally produce it. Normally, you would see a sketch open up the show, and then you would see a cool flashing of the neon sign that you saw earlier in the loading screen, and so on and so forth. But I'm still trying to create an amazing experience here on Twitch for you all to explore with me, and we're going to get into some things. Though it is Juneteenth, there's a lot going on, and I just want to talk about it for a second. There will be brief rants. There will be some things you may agree with, you may not agree with. And if you're tuned in with me right now via Twitch, then you have the opportunity to chat with me in that chat box. So let me know how you're feeling on different matters. But the whole purpose of the Late Night Show is to inform and to entertain. So I want to say that this segment that I'm bringing to life right now is the Don't At Me segment, which means literally that, don't at me. These are I'm going to share with you facts. I'm going to share with you all facts, but then I will rant and give you my opinion on said facts. So with that being said, I don't want you to, you can have an opinion, but just don't at me. You know what I'm saying? Don't come from my head, because this is an open space, no judgment. And it should be the same should apply for all of you who are at home, who want to share your opinions with me. Feel free to send those in the chat box and I'll look over periodically, but I am running my own stream, so bear with me if I do not respond right away. Anywho, moving right along. Okay. All right, so like I said, happy Juneteenth. This is a celebration of freedom. At least that's what we think. We are celebrating finally. This is supposed to be known as a national holiday, and we're going to get into why it hasn't been a national holiday within the last year after Trump's administration disbanded that. But right now I want to just talk about the purpose of Juneteenth and why this is a celebration for some. Okay, so I should say that this date is probably not even accurate, because there were people, this is the date that people in Texas actually found out that they were free. So basically we were free 2 days before, or it might have been even 3 days before Black people were free. However, folks in Texas had no idea that they were free. So they had to go about passing on another statement to say, that you all are actually free. You don't have to work under me anymore, i.e. be slaves, which is insane to me. So this day might bring about a lot of traumas for people. It may also bring about a lot of celebration for people. We have come a long way, but we have so much farther to go. So I just wanted to acknowledge why we're here. And then I wanted to share with you your president's statement about Juneteenth. And he believes that he made Juneteenth very famous. And if you know anything about President Trump, he wants to take credit. He is the epitome of a white man. He wants to take credit for everything that is in existence, okay? He wants you to know that the reason why he wants you to believe that there are fewer unemployment rates, or a decrease in unemployment rates. He wants you to believe that the wall is helping American citizens. He wants you to believe that he acknowledges Black people and their rights and their feelings. But none of that is to be true. He just wants credit for things that he literally has not worked for. And so in an interview with the Wall Street Journal, he says that he made Juneteenth, the annual holiday commemorating the end of slavery, very famous by originally scheduling his campaign rally on that day. Now let's talk about this campaign rally. Trump was widely criticized for scheduling this rally on June 19th today in Tulsa, Oklahoma, which is one of the site for one of the bloodiest acts of racial violence in 1921. So many critics charged him with the fact that that's extremely racially insensitive to make that decision to have a rally. Fortunately, it was postponed. He acknowledges that his African-American friends and supporters reached out asking him to change the date. Shout out to Kanye or whoever else may have been one of his African-American friends. I don't fucking know. I just know that the fact that he even thought to begin with that was a great idea is strange. He even told the Wall Street Journal that one of his black Secret Service agents informed him of the meaning of Juneteenth, which means that how can you make something popular if you didn't even know what the hell it was? He also claimed that he polled those around him and none had even heard of the annual holiday, including himself. He probably just polled himself. But he was surprised to learn from, I guess, that Secret Service agent during the interview with the Journal that the White House actually put out a statement marking the occasion last year. He quotes, "Oh, really? We put out a statement? The Trump White House put out a statement? Okay, good." Trump's Tulsa rally is scheduled to take place on Saturday evening, marking his first campaign rally since March. It's expected to draw a substantial crowd, allegedly, to Tulsa's BOK Center, raising concerns about the potential for the event to spread the novel coronavirus. They plan to conduct temperature checks and distribute masks and hand sanitizer to attendees. But I just want to say, despite everything that's going on, coronavirus is still active, okay? So y'all are out celebrating your Juneteenth, or maybe you're in the crib watching me right now. I appreciate you. Just remember that the coronavirus is actually very real. But this fool here is an idiot. I don't even know what else to say. Like, I have nothing else to really say except that he's an idiot. And I don't know how you go from saying you made something famous that you didn't even know about. It just doesn't make sense to me. But moving along, I just wanted to acknowledge that he's a head ass. And I wanted to also acknowledge the fact that let me say this. Maybe what can make this a little bit better is if you actually put Tubman back on the $20 bill. That's the least you can do. And you're still not getting that type of credit. You know, he just literally the epitome of white people in America. And it's so interesting that he will find anything. Like, he's been putting out these social media posts with like these edits of fake news and etc. that I don't know who's giving him these videos to post on social media, but like trying to dismantle the idea that he ain't shit and that he deserves some sort of credit, just like white people too. They just love to feel like they invented something when they ain't did nothing. Literally, the traffic light, we made that. Hush Puppies did that. Music, we created that. Language, that too. Hell, you wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for us. So shout out to black people on this Juneteenth. Don't you dare fix your mouth to believe that somebody else created what we created. I just want to let you all know that majority of the things that we experience, the black experience matters, okay? Most of the things that we experience and that we have in our culture from all across the globe came from black people, okay? And that's all I wanted to say on that, including this next thing, Uncle P's Louisiana white rice, okay? He got the hood snack and food game on lock. Now, Uncle P, formerly, or initially it was Rap Snacks. And now Master P is starting to publicize his Uncle P's Louisiana seasoned white rice. And his whole idea is in an effort to give back to the black community, unlike the white-owned Uncle Ben's rice. So we grew up on Uncle Ben's white rice, or you may have had Zatarain's, I don't know, but none of that shit is owned by black people. So Master P is doing what he's been doing for almost 30 years and giving back to his people and to prioritize his people. So his latest business venture is this rice. It's a play on the, like I said, the iconic Uncle Ben's white rice that we grew up on. But the difference is that Uncle Ben ain't did shit for the black community. In a video that Master P shared on his social media, he just kind of goes in depth about why we should have ownership and like why we should be supporting one another. And so he even asked in his caption, who is Uncle Ben and Aunt Jemima? I know y'all saw the resurgence of, or not the resurgence, well, yeah, the resurgence of the Aunt Jemima brand by saying that they're going to go out of their way to change. Everybody's brand is now deciding that they want to change things that have been racist and derogatory for years. But now everybody is moving forward and moving toward changing that for the betterment of the majority of people who know for a fact that it is derogatory. I mean, it's not like, and this is my issue with black people, is that it's not like we stop supporting them. You know what I'm saying? We don't stop supporting things that we know are wrong. I learned so many things within the last like couple weeks, honestly, about things that are extreme or I guess birthed from slavery. I mean, if you all have been following the late night show on Instagram, LNS approved, then you've seen the little known black facts. And the first one that I started with was hush puppies, because that shit really took me out. Because I'm like, I'm still going to enjoy my hush puppies, but I can't enjoy them the same way, knowing that they were used to literally hush dogs for our ancestors who were running towards freedom. Strange. Very strange. However, yeah, I mean, back to what's good in the hood. Uncle P, Master P, he has been doing the Lord's work by redistributing wealth into the black community, as well as, you know, everybody can't have a clothing line. Everybody can't have, what else do y'all like? Makeup, or I don't know. We do the same things, but there are so many black businesses to support that offer anything that you need, from plants to furniture to food to headphones. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So if there is something, condoms, we shouted out the B condoms on Girlfriend's podcast this live on Wednesday, and there are a number of black businesses you can support. You just have to intentionally support them. Seek out the things that you need. So I just wanted to highlight Master P and what he's doing for the community. I really appreciate him for putting us on game always, and just trying to encourage each of us to do our part. Another discovery that social media took wind to is my favorite, and I really wish I could play the videos, but or the songs. Maybe I'll just give you the audio in a second. But another thing that had Twitter and social media taken by a storm was the fact that you all didn't know that Beethoven was indeed black. For sure. I mean, he was born in Germany, but as you know, we were all displaced. But from my studies and my research, there is a theory going around that he's black, and now that Twitter just discovered it, they've turned it into an entire thing of memes. But from some of my research, and I learned about Beethoven a while back. I love classical music, and so I learned that both, I want to say, Beethoven and Mozart are black, and it doesn't surprise me because we've created, like I said, literally everything. But in order to perform and to be a well-renowned musician or classical artist at the time, he had to literally powder his face white. And this is something that I guess I should have brought up as a topic as well, that I learned about I'm going to share that later as a little known black fact, but basically that how we infiltrated the KKK and the police department with a black man who looked white. So, and I think that's kind of also just a moment we should indulge in, like how we can really take advantage of our privilege if you are fair skinned. Yeah, back to the fact that, you know, Beethoven and the gentleman who infiltrated the KKK and the police department, both utilize their privilege of having fair skin or the ability to have some white powder makeup. And I mean, shit, they were doing blackface, and it looks like Beethoven took advantage and was like, you know what, I'm a thriving musician, I'm fire, and I'm gonna give y'all these classics whether you like it or not. And so now we have music to thank for it. We have so many beautiful sounds and songs, and sonically just it changed classical music, and it was creating classical music. And I think that is just freaking amazing to know that now so many people understand and believe that we created such amazing masterpieces. So I wanted to share this soundbite, and hopefully y'all can hear it. But this ain't me after I found out if Mozart black too. Hey, ooh. Shout out Sway the Remix God and I Marquise. They made that little beat. Also, I wanted to get into some of these memes that were shared across Twitter and social media. People were so surprised. Oh, this is what I wanted to acknowledge. Every depiction of Beethoven is of him as a white man. However, the following are physical descriptions of Beethoven from various credible sources, including his lovers, students, teachers, anthropologists, historians, and authors. The quote says, wide, thick-lipped mouth, short, thick nose, and proudly arched forehead. Yeah, I mean, there's so much information out there that kind of debunks the fact that people think that he was white, or that most of his photos look like he's a white man. So I just encourage you all, if you're out there, if you're listening, to do some Googles, read some articles. I'll share some links on my personal page. Since I got the little swipe up link, I ain't got that on Late Night Show yet, but y'all gonna get me to 10K. Appreciate y'all. But yeah, that it basically debunked the fact that this man is clearly a black man. Some of the memes had me crying. The one that is my favorite is this one from TikTok. It says, when new music dropped in the 1800s. He had his
Why you saying that like that? Man, boy, that nigga Beethoven just dropped. Oh, he did? Yeah. Ox me. Thanks. Woo. Woo. He running that bitch. Why you saying that like that? Man, people ain't saying shit like that nowadays, dog. Wait till George Washington hear this shit. Play the next song, bro. And the wig on top of that. Oh my God.
Bitcoin on TikTok. I be crying laughing at some of the stuff that y'all post on these things. There were many black composers that I wanted to share. It's not just Beethoven. There was St. George's, Johnson, Bridge Tower, all phenomenal musicians. And then the list goes on and on and on. My niece actually posted for Black, because it's Black Music Month as well, the month of June. She actually posted this picture of like black music, or black people's influence on music, and then white people's influence on music. It was a chart, and literally blues, rock and roll, rap, R&B, everything was birthed by us. So I just want y'all to know, as we're celebrating another magical Juneteenth this 2020, in the midst of everything that's going on, that we are descendants of greatness and we created everything. So there's no reason why we can't build within our own community and seek out businesses within our own communities, because everything we need is within us. Okay? If you ain't hear nothing else during this stream, I hope you heard that. Thank you. Down at me. All right, moving along. Next topic, we have something I'm super excited for.
You get to play the young Mike Tyson. Luckily, the technology's on our side. Let me give you the opening of the movie. The camera is high, but not as high as the heavens, just above the trees, and it's snaking through New York. Somewhere in New York, and it's cold, and people are on their way to work. It's just one camera, and you hear focus mitts being hit in the distance, and it's just capturing regular day, blue collar people. You know what I'm saying? In the hood, it's just regular. You know, people on their way somewhere, and then we get up to this boxing gym. We see the doors, and the camera stops, and you hear the doors open magically. Camera snakes in, and we see in the distance a hulking figure holding focus mitts and a little kid hitting the mitts. And you hear the kid asking the hulking figure, "My dad said you were amazing. My dad said you was one of the best. You was boss. You was this, you was that." And you hear the person's voice, "Don't worry about what your dad said. Just throw the right. Make sure you keep your left though. Get your head knocked off." And as the camera gets closer, you see that it's now Mike Tyson. "No, but my dad said, I'm gonna tell you one time, don't say anything about your dad. I don't care. That was back in the day. Just throw the left, and when you shoot the right, shoot it with authority. Shoot like you mean it." Boom. And he throws it right, and he hits Mike, and Mike acts like he's falling in super slow motion. And when he hits the ground, ding, 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 he's back at the last fight. He got knocked out. And he's he's there. And as you see him, the last fight, he's on the ground, and he rests back on the ropes, and he sees everybody talking shit. Everybody saying, "Get up, Mike." Some people saying, "You a bum." Some people saying all the things that people were saying, because we were split at that time. And he rests back on the rope, spits his mouthpiece out, and it goes calm. And you just hear, and he's saying, "I'm done with all of this." And all of a sudden, just as we relax into that moment, the ref comes up, 1, 2.
Yeah.
And we flash back to the young Mike Tyson. That's how it opens.
That's the opening scene to the Mike Tyson biopic, and the way that Jamie Foxx describes that so vividly, I'm a Jamie Foxx stan. Like, I really am so sad that I went on tour late last year, and he is good friends with one of the artists that was on tour, Tank, and so he came to our Miami show, and I'm really sad that I didn't get an opportunity to just say hi and chop it up with him, but I'm sure that there will be another moment where I can actually hang out with Jamie Foxx and just tell him how much I truly admire him for being such a freaking legend. Not only did he play Ray Charles in his biopic, but he's now doing Mike Tyson, which is another legendary figure in our community. And he really takes on the character so well. I was talking to someone about method acting, and how intense that is. Like if you know, if you watch like the Joker, and then the Joker, the one particular actor who killed himself and committed suicide because of how committed he was to that role. Method acting is not easy, but I would say someone like Jamie Foxx is really good at taking on an entire role and bodying it. So I'm really excited for that one, and I can't wait. Yes, shout out to Jamie Foxx. Love him so much. So much. Okay, moving along. Let's talk about how we can actually defund the fucking police. It's statistically proven to work even in the States, okay? There is a meme that I put here that says, in Norway, they required 3 years of training to become a police officer. Between 2002 to 2016, they only had 4 fatalities caused by police. In Finland, there's a 3-year degree that's required to become a police officer. 7 people were killed by police between 2000 and 2018. 18 years, only 7 people were killed by the police. That is literally less than how many people were killed, or one person over how many people were killed in a number of days in the United States, okay? Germany, 2 years of training to become a police officer. 267 people have died by police shootings since 1990. Now hear this. The United States of America, where you all are bred, okay? You only need a high school diploma and approximately 21 weeks of training. 1,004 people were killed in 2019 alone. If that don't fucking make you mad to just hear those statistics, I don't know what else to tell you. Now, I told you as I introduced this that it's statistically proven to work, defunding the police and allocating those funds to other parts of our community, right? This was a method that was actually used in Jersey. I want to say it was in Camden. It was in Camden. Okay. They found great success in Camden, New Jersey, by defunding the police. This spotlight came recently after people obviously have been protesting and rioting and looting and so on and so forth to hopefully further the progression of the Black Lives Matter movement and just making the world a better place in general. Specifically here in America. Essentially, with the movement of funds to other parts of the community, they saw a decrease in actual crime. Okay, and this is one of the most allegedly one of the most outrageous places for crime, for criminal activity. This is prior to them actually defunding the police. So it really goes to show you that, like, was it really that bad? Was the community really at its wit's end, or was it the fact that the police were going around terrorizing these individuals who lived in the area? And people still have their they have their opinions on whether or not it works or whether or not policing is important, or like community policing. I feel strongly that if you have police, I mean, what happened to Rayshard Brooks in Atlanta, Georgia, off a university should have never happened, but it's because people that showed up don't look like us, don't know how to communicate like us. So if the people who typically are officers within the Atlanta Police Department looks like us, they have a better understanding of how to communicate with people. So I think communal policing is also a great idea. I think more the point of this particular graphic here is to show you that in other countries, literally all it takes is training, education. You're pulling these many of the police officers that are pulling over Black people are not even as educated as the people that they're pulling over. How the hell can you communicate with me? And you are, doctors have to go to school for how long? Lawyers have to go to school for how long? And then you don't even really encourage police officers to understand the laws that they're supposed to be communicating with us as citizens who are not knowledgeable of that sort of jargon, but then you want us to understand and know our rights. And if we don't, you'll flip it, or you won't even acknowledge the fact that you're not abiding by the laws that you preach. It's just all messed up. And I think that if we simply placed more training, communal policing, and shit, like maybe even in the school systems, like for my school in particular, going to or my high school in particular, we had smaller learning communities you were placed in based upon your interests. So if you were interested in being a police officer, maybe there should be an academy or some sort of program where you're able to do that, and it's not frowned upon within the Black community, because it's not like you the feds, you know what I'm saying? It's like, no, I'm really trying to help my community, rehabilitate my community before sending them off and just throwing them into a prison to make all of the products that you all use that are not Black owned, that they use within the prison system. Y'all wasn't trying to get red today, were y'all? I'm just tired of it. Over 120 deaths in 20 days since George Floyd transitioned. Since this entire revolution or resurgence of the revolution has come forth. Not even including the number of lynchings across the United States. Yes, lynchings in 2020 that we have seen. 6 people of color, Black people, have died in a recent string of hangings across the country. Since May 27th, it's June 19th. A woman, 4 men, and a teenage boy have been found dead from separate hangings from Portland, Oregon to Southern California, not too far from where the hell I am, Houston, and New York City. In the most recent case, the police reported finding a Black 17-year-old hanging outside an elementary school in Houston. And of course, all of these are ruled what? Suicides, because they, for some reason, believe that Black people just like hanging themselves on fucking trees. If people commit suicide, I mean, just let me know. Let me know. Most people who commit suicide, even if they hang themselves inside of the comfort of their own fucking home, not on a tree to be displayed amongst people, several people. I just, in their community, that just doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make sense to me. You mean to tell me that I don't get it. I don't get it. I really am at a loss for words, because it hurts me. It pains me to see that these are the lenses that they'll go to make you believe. And this is the reason why I started this platform, because I wanted to have a platform where you can't tell me what to say in media. And that's what I realized. There's a montage of videos. You can find it on YouTube. You can find it on social media, anywhere. There's a montage that you can see where the media is literally regurgitating the news. So they're telling you the same thing. When we first started in the quarantine and they were reporting on how much Amazon sales had spiked, every news station said the exact same thing. Oh, consumers are going to Amazon to shop online, safer at home. Oh, consumers are, like, the same exact thing was being said across media platforms, because what they want you to believe, what they want you to believe. So that's why, as a smart, intelligent, educated, self-taught even Black person, you need to seek out the knowledge that you wish to see. You can't spend all of your time on Twitter and not go beyond Twitter or Instagram or Facebook and get your own research. If that means you're coming to my platform, I hope to only speak about things that I know of. And if I don't know of something, then you all can tell me, how to give me better. What am I trying to say? Then you all can inform me if I am misinformed. Give me more of the facts that I may be missing on a story. And I would hope that the people who are listening and following would hold me accountable. Because that's what we have to do. We have to educate ourselves. There were several things happening on the internet within the last week that I just didn't even understand, because I'm just like, we too busy tearing each other down to realize that there's a whole world out there that wants to see us hanging from trees in the midst of a revolution and a global pandemic. This is not ponies and rainbows, honeys, okay? This is not ponies and rainbows. I just urge you all to stay safe if you're going outside. If you're celebrating Juneteenth, I hope you're with a group of people and you're ready to fight, okay? I hope that if you do go outside of the safety of your home, and it is, we saw with Breonna Taylor, and I'm still confused as to why the cops are not arrested, convicted in the murder of Breonna Taylor, but we'll get to that another time. However, if you're not at home and you decide to leave your home, I do ask that you please stay protected, stay strapped up. Don't walk alone. Women, my trans community, be safe. Travel in groups. This is not the time, and I hate that it has to be like this, and it's never been the time. We're just now aware of what's going on because it's publicized, and then we have cameras, and we have body cams, and we have security, we have cell phones and readily available to us. The reason why Breonna Taylor's killers are not convicted right now is because it was not filmed. That's the reason why it's taken so long, because it wasn't filmed the way that, or the reason why it's not happening the way that George Floyd's case panned out to be, because it wasn't filmed. So imagine how many other cases are not filmed. We can't be everywhere, but one thing we can do is protect one another. Protect one another. Build within our community. Love each other. Love Black women. We protect y'all so much. We be on the front lines, protesting, fighting for y'all. As soon as something happens to us, it's like, are you sure that's what happened? It's always a question. It ain't no fucking question. Protect Black women. Protect Black women. Protect Black women. Protect Black women. Protect each other, though. We are what we have, we are the reason why there is an advancement of culture. We're the reason why there's music. There's a Black Barbie doll. We're the reason why Mattel designed all these amazing costumes and things, and the way that Barbie has advanced. Just as simple as that. We gave you Betty Boop. We gave you so many things, okay? And it's our time to, I would love to see my reparations. I would love to see an advancement. I saw this one post about how there was an advertisement in 19 whatever the hell, where white people were eligible to get housing for like $1 or something. I mean, to get land for like $1. So it's no way you can repay over 400 years of slavery, because that's what it is, and what it still is. We're not free. Though we celebrate Juneteenth as the official day of us not being enslaved, we're still not free from policing. We're not free from prison. Like, there are people still in jail today while white men are being paid from their petty crime, i.e. cannabis. The cannabis industry booms, but who benefits from it? Not Black people. We're shut out of the cannabis business. It's just a reality check that I want you all to be aware of, that we are not free from despair. We're not free from emotional traumas. We're not free from poverty. It's so many things that, we're educating ourselves. We're learning something every day. We have these things. They should have never gave niggas the internet, because now we got the internet. Now we got social media. We gonna be everywhere. What's good? You know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful for the things that we have, and the advancement, and the fact that we continue to fight, that we continue to use our voices, our platforms, to continue to use our gifts. thank you. Thank you to, if you're listening and you're doing that, I appreciate you. I want you to know that I love you and that I appreciate you for continuing to use your gifts in time of distress, in times of when you don't feel like it. I know for me, I be tired. I literally had to just take a nap for like 3 hours the other day because I was so tired. And I didn't know where that exhaustion was coming from, but it was coming from my emotions of what I was seeing and what's happening outside in the world, you know. But then I come back and I see my sisters and my brothers who are like continuously inspiring me to do better in their respective fields, from education to policy to engineering to, I mean, the list goes on and on and on, music to the arts. Like, I'm just so grateful to have a community of people who continue no matter what. So thank you for joining me to this evening. If you took the time out to sit with me for less than an hour and just talk about some of the things that I've found interesting this week in my Don't At Me segment. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for always supporting me. This is just one of many. I am going to continue to stream every 2 weeks, Friday, 6 p.m., 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be with you locked in right here on Twitch for the late night show with Sammy Approved. Don't at me segment until we can get further funding to produce a well thought out quality show. If you have never seen the show, be sure to tune in on YouTube. We have a full show, 2 episodes from season 2, and as well as about 6 episodes from season 1 that are available to you right now. You can go check that out. I'm gonna make sure that this is up on YouTube, and be sure to subscribe, like, rate, comment, all that good shit. Happy Juneteenth. I'm about to support a Black business here in Los Angeles by the name of, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to tell you right now if my Uber Eats will come up, because I don't remember. I have an Excel sheet for anybody that is in, a spreadsheet for anybody that's in Los Angeles that wants to support Black businesses, and I found this business actually from Uber Eats. They have a section where it says support Black owned business, and this place is called Annie's So Delicious, and I got me some blackened salmon, strawberry lemonade, some mac and cheese, okay, and some cabbage, because I just needed me a good soul food meal. I'm not sure that it's going to give me all that I need, but hopefully it will, because y'all know I'm used to that Kale's Kitchen back home, that good Southern eats from grandma and grandpa them. But hopefully this gives me exactly what I need on this marvelous Juneteenth. I hope that y'all are being safe. Love y'all. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and happy Juneteenth. Yes. Peace.